Right, welcome back. Now, the upcoming concert titled Contemporary African Sacred Music of Professor Mzilikazi Khumalo promises to be a profound tribute to the life and legacy of the legendary South African composer who has made an indelible contribution to the world of music and also cultural heritage. Now, his compositions often draw upon the deep spiritual roots of South African heritage, invoking both the sacred and the communal aspects of music that have characterized the nation's artistic expression for generations. In addition to this musical celebration, the event will mark the launch of a significant new book that is entitled The Music of Mzilikazi Khumalo, Language, Culture and Song in South Africa. So for more on this, we're joined this morning by Major Jeqeza Mabaso, Corps Officer and Administrator and Director of the Salvation Army Ministries in Eswatini. Major Mabaso, good morning. Thank you for your time with the SABC at this hour.
Good morning, Liesl. Good morning to our viewers.
Perhaps
thank you for having us.
An absolute pleasure, and thank you for paying homage to such an icon. I mean, it's Heritage Month here in South Africa. We're honoring those who, whose shoulders we stand on, that also contribute to our rich storytelling. Perhaps we could just look at the significance of this concert, the date, the location, really honoring Professor Mzilikazi Khumalo at large.
Yeah, well, thank you, Liz. Look, this is it's historic, and it is very significant in the history of this country, in the history of music, in South Africa, in Africa, and in the world, but also in the history of music within the Salvation Army. And we as the Salvation Army are grateful and feel honored to be offered the opportunity to celebrate Professor Mzilikazi Khumalo in collaboration with Wits University, in particular Wits School of Arts. It is an honor indeed. And this being a Heritage Month, we need to celebrate this iconic composer of music in South Africa, in Africa, and the whole world. It is very, very significant, and we are proud to be able to do it at this time, particularly 30 years after democracy.
Absolutely. Major Mabaso, looking at the themes, I mean, there's such an array of work. So the themes, the elements of Professor Mzilikazi Khumalo's work that will be highlighted during this concert, what's going to be that focus on? Perhaps also just looking at who's going to be performing at the concert, how those cross-collaborations are going to unfold. What can the audiences expect then?
All right, thank you very much. The theme itself speaks volumes of Professor Khumalo. Professor Khumalo was a man who knew who he was, who knew what he wanted to be, who loved himself, who loved his family, who loved the Salvation Army, who loved South Africa and Africa and the whole world. Whatever he did was to the benefit of humanity. So this event in particular will be exposing, will be presenting to the world who Professor Khumalo was, and we are grateful to be able to celebrate him. We'll have the most exquisite choirs of the Salvation Army, 3 choirs, that's vocal choirs, and 3 instrumental brass bands, and they will be presenting music that was loved and some music that was composed or arranged by Prof. Khumalo. We will have the likes of Bongani Ntombela, Solomon, Ntando, Khumalo, Londiwe Solomon, Banele Kanye, and Busisiwe Shongwe. And they will be conducted by the well-known mezzo-soprano, Nomtandazo, Solomon Jeqeza, and the other conductors who will be conducting other choirs. You can expect a lot of good music that Professor Khumalo arranged and composed.
Oh, absolutely.
Including Umangfitwa Ukufa and some parts of Ushaka Kasenza Ngakona and some parts of the opera Princess Magogo. So that will be a great thing.
We are certainly in for a treat. Speaking about the tribute that obviously is coming through for Prof. Khumalo, the book that's also coming out that coincides with this tribute, The Music of Mzilikazi Khumalo, Language, Culture and Song in South Africa. Talk to us about the significance of also that offering, perhaps also the spiritual element that's going to be evoked through this offering for South African heritage, for Pan-Africa at large?
Yes, let me start by saying, as you may be aware, and our viewers are aware, that the Salvation Army is a Christian organization. And we are compelled by the love of God in what we are doing. And therefore, spirituality is important in this event. And that will come out of the songs that will be presented. That's why we're using the word invoking the spirituality of Prof. Khumalo. The song will be presented in such a way that the audience will participate, and those who can follow, who know these songs, some who may have sung the songs before, will be able to follow as the choirs sing. And that's what we'll do. Prof. Khumalo loved culture, loved himself, and he started, obviously, he lived in the era of divisions, where this country was divided, but he loved diversity. Right?
Yes.
He promoted diversity. In the late 90s, some viewers will recall, there was the editor of the Sowetan Agri-Cluster who was promoting nation building. And in that, talking about nation building, he called upon Professor Khumalo and Richard Koch. And he put them into saying, let's build the nation. Let's bring the choirs together to sing together, so that we promote this diversity. Even then, Prof. Khumalo and his teammates believed that South Africa and the world can live together in diversity and under Christian principles, which is love and joy and kindness and harmony. And that's what Professor Khumalo was, and that's what we are going to promote with this event.
Oh, absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. That unity in diversity, perhaps also just drawing on those lessons that we get from Prof. Mzilikazi Khumalo's life at large. I wonder if there are going to be any guest speakers or notable figures in attendance as well. Perhaps also people want to interact with you, follow that information. How do they go about doing that, just so that they can get all that information ahead of the concert?
If they go to the website of the Salvation Army, just say the Salvation Army Southern Africa Territory, that will lead them to the website, and information is there. Tickets are available at web tickets. They are still available, and we're encouraging people, all people, we must feel God's great awe, and we cannot afford anything less. Our viewers are listening. We must celebrate this icon. And so, guest speaker will be Dr. Peter Kwabe, who will be delivering the first lecture. Okay. Obviously, as you may have, this will be an annual event of celebrating African composers.
Yes.
And this is the first of those celebrations. And so Dr. Peter Kwabe will be the guest speaker. We'll have the Salvation Army leadership there. We'll have the Wits University management and leadership, and other guests as well that will be coming. And so we invite all the people who are listening, and invite your friends and your friends and their friends and their friends and SABC to come and celebrate with us.
Major Jeqeza, Timothy Mabaso, thank you for joining us this morning, chatting to us about the upcoming celebration of late composer Professor Mzilikazi Khumalo.